Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm your host, Sergeant John Perrine, the Public Information Officer for the Indiana State Police Indianapolis District. The Roadshow is brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Alliance. For more information about our sponsor, visit www.indianasfinest.com. I want to thank our partnership with Network Indiana and our good friend Eddie Griffin, who's putting us on the radio waves each and every week. So if you're hearing us on the radio, it's thankful for our partners there at Network Indiana. I want to thank the man behind the camera, putting us on YouTube, making us look really, really good. All the work that he does, all the content on YouTube is the work of the one and only Tom Trial. So thank you very much for that, Tom. Certainly happy to have you here. And our guests joining us this week is Captain Ron Galvez, Chief PIO for the Indiana State Police.
Welcome. John, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to have you here.
It's great being here. Love it.
And now we also have 30-year Indiana State Police Motor Carrier Inspector veteran, Kim Judge. Kim, thank you for coming in.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
This is a really cool opportunity for us to kind of just highlight what the great work that our motor carriers do. And if you're not familiar, just to give you a little overview of what it is the Motor Carrier Division is a section of the Indiana State Police. They fall under the umbrella, but they're employees who operate our scale houses. They also enforce federal commercial motor vehicle laws. They patrol the roads. They essentially make sure that all the truck drivers on the road are complying with those laws.
School buses as well.
And school bus, yeah, great point. So they touch a lot of commercial motor vehicles, a lot of school buses. A lot of paperwork that goes along with those, and so we're certainly thankful for them to make our roads safe. So
thank you.
Here we are.
You know, because being the crossroads of Indiana, I mean, with all the interstate systems that traverse our state, it's amazing the amount of commerce that comes through here. So there's hardly anything that runs from the west coast to east coast, north to south that Indiana State Police Motor Carrier Inspector at least doesn't put his or her hands on at one point or another during the inspection process.
And we talk about the importance of the motor carrier laws, the federal laws and the state laws, and enforcing those is we've all seen the devastation of crashes, and any crash can be devastating. But oftentimes when a semi is involved in that crash, the devastation is increased, whether that be an extended road closure or loss of life or severe injuries, just because of the sheer size and weight of those vehicles. And so it's important that you guys, as motor carrier inspectors, keep them under their weight.
Yes, we try. We try our best to touch as many as we can to prevent things like that. That's the purpose of our job.
And also one thing that's difficult, in 30 years, you've seen an incredible evolution of federal laws and the changes, but they're always changing. So you have to stay up on those as well.
It is. It's very difficult. From year to year, things change. But yeah, from the time that I had began this career is things, the commercial vehicles themselves have gotten much, much better than what they were when I first started doing this job.
Yeah, and I'm not any longer, but at one point in my career, I was certified and to do level 3 inspections. And just when I thought I had a handle on logbooks, they changed everything. They changed the rules. They made them all electronic. And I can't imagine trying to keep up with all the changes in technology and laws.
Yeah, you do. You have to refer back to the regulations quite a bit. Even after 30 years, I still don't know everything there is to know about it. But we have those resources that we can refer back to them. And the people that we work with, we can refer to them for guidance. But every day, there's always something that's changing, getting updated.
Now, I get a lot of calls, a lot from truck drivers that are just asking for clarifications on things, and I often send those calls down to the CEVED office. But what's one of the most common thing that you see truck drivers maybe doing with their logbook, that they're confused or they just have a misperception of the law?
There's a new category right now that's called personal conveyance. So they're most of the time they're really confused. Even the drivers are confused about the logs doing the ELDs nowadays, that they call in, can I use personal conveyance? Can I use that motor vehicle to go to a hotel? Can I use it to go and pick up my next load, or transportation, getting from their home to the place that they're going to pick up the load? So they're just as confused as we are sometimes. But there's thousands of different devices out there that they can be using, and we have to learn each and every one of them to help them get the logs transferred to us. So it's trying sometimes.
Yeah, And I think the importance of a logbook and the history of it is essentially these drivers most of them get paid by the mile. So they push themselves to drive as many miles as they physically can. Mm-hmm. And without those regulations to say you have to log, if that truck is moving and you're behind the wheel, right, that has to be logged.
That has to be logged.
Some way, somehow. And that's important for safety because we don't want them falling asleep or driving too tired.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's more dangerous, I think. We're driving a 2-ton 4-wheel drive vehicle that's got a lower center of gravity as opposed to a 60 to 80,000 pound behemoth rolling down the road at highway speeds. That's a lot of kinetic energy when somebody falls asleep behind the wheel.
Yeah, and some of the most devastating crashes that I've responded to involve a semi hitting the back of stopped traffic. Yeah. People are backed up. And for whatever reason, that driver was distracted, tired, whatever. Just at highway speed runs, and that those are horrific crashes for sure.
They are.
And so, how many scale houses do we have in the Indiana that you're?
We have 8 scale facilities throughout the state of Indiana,
and essentially 4 locations, right? But 8 because there's one on each side of the road. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So most of them are at entry points to the state. So I-70 out at Richmond.
At Richmond and Terre Haute, West Harrison. And then the ones up there on I-94 in Lowell.
Okay, yeah.
They're in Chesterton area.
Yeah.
They're point of entries, one exiting the state of Indiana. So we have those 8 facilities throughout the state.
And when a truck comes across, how common is it to find violations that put them out of service, that say you can't drive this truck any longer, you have to park it? Is that something you're seeing every day?
Well, every day we're finding vehicles that are being placed out of service for equipment violations or for driver violations of some sort. So that's the purpose of our job, is to be there in the scale facility and observing those types of violations so that we can get them off of the highway, make it safe for everybody. So every day we're seeing those types of violations.
Yeah. The purpose of your job, the goal of all of us, but is safety.
Yes.
And so our goal isn't to go out and see how many tickets we can write or look. No. We're looking for the unsafe drivers, the unsafe trucks, the people that should not be on the road because they're making it dangerous for everybody else.
Yes, absolutely.
So some exciting things. We know that we're shorthanded right now, and we would like to man those scale houses with more people more frequently than we currently do. So we're hiring.
Yes, it's wonderful. We are in the process right now. We have an open application process until February the 19th at midnight. And so we're just waiting for everybody to apply, and I'll be in contact with them individually so that I can answer any kind of questions that they may have during this whole process.
Yeah, so let's just talk about some of the requirements or that to make somebody eligible. And I've got the list if you don't have it. Okay. And that is, you have to be a U.S. citizen. You must be at least 21 years old at the time of appointment. So if you're 20, you can apply. We just have to look at the dates. You have to make sure you're 21 when you're appointed at the end of your training. You must have a high school diploma or GED. You have to have a driver's license, a valid driver's license. You're going to be required to pass a physical agility test, an oral interview, a polygraph exam, and a background investigation. And you'll have to do a medical exam, a psychological exam, a drug test, and a geographical proximity to one of the scale houses. Now, you can pick. So the 4 scale house locations that we have, Richmond, Terre Haute, Lowell, or Chesterton, and Harrisburg, is that what you said?
Well, we've got Terre Haute.
Yeah.
We have Seymour.
Oh, Seymour. That's the one I forgot.
West Harrison and Richmond.
There you go. And so you live close to one of those and you want to drive back and forth, and then this is a great job. Great benefits come with this job.
Absolutely.
Health insurance and pension and retirement and all of those things.
Absolutely, yes. We've got all the benefits of the agency that is available to everyone. Yeah. So we're not any different. It's just that we do a little bit different of a job.
Now, some people may have the idea that you have to be mechanically inclined, that you have to know about trucks and diesel motors, and you learn a lot of that stuff, brakes and things, but you don't necessarily have to be a mechanic to do this job.
You do not. You do not. We teach you everything it is that you need to know in regards to the state laws, the federal regulations, and the 2-week course that is pertaining to the federal regulations, we actually will give you hands-on training for that. So you don't have to have any mechanical knowledge whatsoever, because we're going to take you out. We're going to teach you everything it is that you need to know in order to be able to perform the inspections.
So talk to me just a little bit about the day-to-day operations of what a day at the scale house looks like, or maybe a day of patrol even.
What we're doing is, again, as the trucks are coming into the scale facilities, or if you're out working portable scales, which we carry portable scales in our commissions that we work out of. So we're looking for equipment violations. And when you stop that driver, you're interacting with them. They are professional drivers. And, you're not going to have any problems with those folks in particular. But then we're going to do an roadside inspection. Typically, we do about 4 to 5 inspections a day, and those vary from on time. So it could be from an hour to 30 minutes, or it may take you longer than an hour to do the inspection. So we just write up the violations, or if we don't find any violations, which is good for the trucking companies as well. To give them a clean inspection report,
which is good news for them.
They benefit from that. So we're looking for overweight vehicles also, as that an overweight vehicle tears up the highway.
Yeah,
it makes the ruts in the highway. It makes them unsafe as well. So day to day, it's every stop is different. Every interaction with the drivers are different. So it can be a good thing, and then you can also talk to drivers and learn a little bit about them.
So the one question that we get a lot is, what type of person are you looking for in an applicant?
We're just looking for somebody that is willing to come out here and do a job and be independent. You have to have some good character about you in order to be an independent worker and not have to rely on everyone else.
So you're looking for a problem solver, somebody that's got really good communication skills, because again, that's a lot of one-on-one time.
Exactly.
with these professional drivers out there. Yeah.
And if somebody wants to learn more or see firsthand what you guys do, what are some opportunities you have right now?
Well, what we've actually got is during this whole process of the applications, we have got 2 recruiting seminars scheduled already. One is going to be March the 8th at the Terre Haute Scales, and it's from 10 until noon. So they can come out. Even if you're not applying for that location, you can come out and actually show up and see exactly where you're going to be working at, or the type of facility that you're going to be working at, and we'll show you a little bit about what we do. And then also on March 9th, we've got another hiring seminar, again, and that one's going to be at the West Harrison Scale Facility, again, until 10 until noon. If you can't make either one of those recruiting seminars, then we can also do a job shadow program. So all they would have to do is contact one of us, and we can make the arrangements for them to come out to the facility they're wanting to work at and job shadow for a few hours.
Okay, so for more information about the hiring process, you can visit the Indiana State Police website at www.in.gov/ISP, or you can go directly to governmentjobs.com, and if you search for motor carrier inspector, there's 4 job postings currently on the website for motor carrier inspector. That includes the Seymour facility, the Terre Haute facility, the West Harrison facility, and the Richmond facility. And so if you're in one of those areas, or if you're interested in moving to one of those areas, live within a reasonable distance. You don't have to live next door. And you're interested in a very, very good career, a rewarding career, a career that gives you the opportunity to essentially save lives. You are taking these unsafe trucks and making sure that they're safe and making sure they're worthy of being on the road. So I want to thank my guests for being on today. Thank you for joining us and this exciting thing. Indiana State Police Motor Carrier Inspector, now hiring. Very, very cool opportunity. Lots of benefits. Good job and good people. So visit the website, www.in.gov/ISP. Everybody buckle up, and we'll see you next time.